Welcome to Paradox Jukebox, an unconventional podcast for the unconventional music lover. Brought to you by Music on the Move Studios, a woman-led company working to help musicians move their careers forward through education and live events. I'm your host, Caitie Thompson. So glad that you're with me today because my friend EvyIvy is on the show. She is a pop rock artist from Nashville, Tennessee, and she is one hell of a performer, y'all. I love getting to watch her on stage, and I just love listening to her music. A lot of her music is on my iPhone in all of the different playlists that I have for myself, workout playlists and chill playlists, all that kind of stuff. But what Hannah, or EvyIvy, what Hannah's going to talk about today is being a mom in music, what it's like to be a rock artist in the music scene, and she's also going to talk a lot about Music on the Move and how she's kind of been along for the ride since the inception, because she and our founder, Erin McLendon, have been friends for years and years and years. And so Hannah's going to talk a little bit about, our growth and what she's seen us go through. So I'm really excited for this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. So please sit back and relax. This is Rhythm by EvyIvy.
I'm touched by the sorrow I see in you. So much I wanna reach out and heal your wounds. Do you remember when I taught you to sing my chant? Let the rhythm ignite, get lost in the light of love. Let the rhythm ignite, get lost in the light of hard grip by the need to rescue you.
Welcome, everybody, to Paradox Jukebox. I am your host, Caitie Thompson, and with me today I have EvyIvy. How are you, friend?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good as a mom of 3 under 3 can be.
Oh, God bless. You are my hero.
I thought that, but it definitely was not planned to be that way. But a nice surprise, I guess.
Yeah. So you just had a son.
Yes, he's 5 months old.
And tell everybody his name because it's the coolest name ever.
His name is Falcon. It took us a long time to find a name that we both could agree on. We had so many that each of us liked, and we really wanted something unique. And everything my husband loved, I hated. Everything he loved, it was just. So we finally settled on that, and it's there's kind of an inside joke from a toast at our wedding reception that led us to that name. So we credit a good friend of my husband's for the name. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, I know when Erin and I learned of Falcon's name, the both of us were like, "Oh my God, they are so cool." We were just like, yeah, this is why Hannah is just the coolest mom in the world. And I haven't met your husband, but I mean, he married you, so he must be pretty cool too.
Well, my goal was, the name Hannah, I've always appreciated my name, which is, just my given name, and I love it. But I felt like as an artist, I had to do something a little different that wasn't so run of the mill, if you will.
Sure.
And so I kind of, with our kids, I was like, I just want to go ahead and give them names that they don't have to change if they ever decide to go into any kind of music or artistry. And so we tried to be cool.
I think you succeeded for sure. So, okay, so talk about, what it's like to be a mom of three and still try to balance a music career. I mean, how difficult has that been for you?
I mean, it's difficult, it's one of those things where, just as of today, we had planned to do this interview 30 minutes before we started, but kids being kids, you really just, I have learned more than ever in my life how to finally just be flexible and go with the flow, because as soon as you plan something, somebody wakes up, is hungry, somebody just wants you to play with them. And so there are there's a lot of just finding ways to be productive in the hours that they're asleep while also still getting sleep yourself. There's a delicate balance there. So,
Yeah,
but
I'm not a mom, but I can't imagine how crazy your schedule must be and the lack of sleep alone. Oh,
we're crossing into the land of getting a little more sleep. As long as Falcon doesn't go through any crazy sleep regressions, but we're getting there. And it took me a while. After I have twin daughters that are 2.5, and it took me a good year really, after they were born, before I really felt like I could find some kind of schedule that worked where I could truly set aside a dedicated time to work on music, but also still feel like I was giving them all the attention that they needed, and that they weren't lacking in getting anything from me by me taking that time to do music for me and for myself.
sure.
But also recently I had a conversation with someone who said, you shouldn't give up your dreams for your children, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that you're doing this for, because when they see you going after these goals, they are going to be so proud of you. And I was like, it was such a mind-blowing way to look at it, because for so long I was just beating myself up thinking I am not doing enough for my kids. I need to just like give up my dreams and just focus on theirs. And he was like, they're not going to learn how to dream for themselves by seeing you give up on your dreams. So that was pretty mind-blowing for me, and I've been trying to keep that in mind on the stressful times um, of those moments of feeling like, oh, I just feel like I should just give up,
Yeah.
because those are frequent thoughts. I think those are frequent thoughts for anyone in the music industry, because it's just such an uphill battle, of just, you can put so much work into it and be so talented and still really not many people know your name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it depends on what you're trying to get out of it.
I agree. And I'm so glad that your friend gave you that advice about, still pursuing your passions and your dreams so that you're setting an example for your children so that they can see as they grow that, you didn't give up on the things that you wanted, just because you had them. I mean, and I think a lot of parents tend to do that. They tend to put aside their wants and needs for their children, which is admirable. It's a, that's a wonderful thing, but I also think that it takes a very strong individual to balance both. And I feel that you're doing a really great job. I mean, you just slayed everybody at the last Music on the Move showcase, girl. Like you were on freaking fire.
Aw, I think you overly compliment me, but thank you.
Well, I don't, and I know Erin definitely is going to agree with me on this. So it's two against one. You lose.
Well, worthy opponents to lose to. So, uh, I give Erin so much credit, but really, if it hadn't been for her, I think I could have so easily fallen into the place of just saying, you know what, I'm just going to be a mom and I'm going to be the best mom I can be. But if it hadn't been for her being like, you should come play this showcase, and not letting me give up on it. I mean, she's been my cheerleader, and I am so grateful for her, for doing that for me. I don't even know that she realizes how huge of a part she's played in me continuing to do music.
I know that's going to mean the world to her to hear that. So I will make sure that she listens to this episode once we release it, because I think that'll mean the world to her. But I'm also very glad in the same right that she encouraged you to continue to perform on these showcases, because it's just, I can't imagine you not being a musician and not putting your art out there, because every time that I watch you sing, I'm enthralled. You have such a presence and you're so captivating. And truthfully, this is not just because we're friends. All right. I love you as a human, but I will never forget the first time that I played the Music on the Move showcase with you at the Exit Inn, and I was like, this chick's music I could play all damn day.
All of my angry music I used to write.
Yes. Yes, I love angry music. It helps me feel the feels.
You too. It does, and it's one of those things, like, even when you're not angry, it just feels good to, like, it's like when you're getting ready to work out or something, you just do one of those big, like, kind of things.
Yeah, you're pumped.
And it's good music to work out to, so it gets
It
you moving.
is. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. So I think we need to talk a little bit about, your unique position as kind of like this pop rock artist in Nashville, Tennessee, of all places, which is more known for country music, but Nashville's got a pretty cool rock scene. And I feel like there's, not enough people know about it. I mean, you and I did that one showcase. I forget where it was at, but and it was literally nothing but like pop alternative and rock musicians. So can you talk a little bit about what it's been like for you to be a rock musician in, a predominantly country music scene?
I think the hardest part of that has been in trying to connect with other songwriters. Because the writing for country can be so different as far as lyrically and even instrumentation. So a lot of times it's being able to find people of like minds can be hard sometimes. And it's really exciting when you find someone who is maybe predominantly country, but also gets you and can write in your space too.
Yeah.
But there's just so much. I feel like country music is such a storyteller's wheelhouse, and they have so much wit to their songs. Like, they come up with all these clever little twists of words and just cute, cool stuff, and I mean, obviously country music's evolved a lot too. When I think of country music, like, man, 90s country, that was the stuff.
Yeah.
I loved 90s country, but I didn't even fully appreciate it until years later. I've always been a little bit of a late bloomer when it comes to finding and appreciating certain types of music. But it's, sometimes it's hard to get a gig, because I feel like a lot of the singer-songwriter nights really are, people are listening for those more country driven type of stories and lyrics. And it's not always the showcase that's going to feature people who are talking about, really hard emotions and really dark places that they've been in, whereas country music is pretty positive on the overhaul of it. I think a lot of what I write is, man, it's usually about some hard stuff. And there was recently I heard of a group that's called Sad Girl Music, and a group of girls who are just trying to connect that community of people who aren't your pretty pop, easygoing, happy-go-lucky musicians, at least. Right. And so it's really about finding those little niches, and sometimes it takes a minute and you have to really seek it out, but it's just not as in your face and prevalent, but it's there, which is really cool.
Absolutely. Well, and I think, once you start to find, more of those like-minded artists, like, for example, I thought the pairing of your music and Mary Jennings' music on that showcase was perfect.
I love Mary Jennings. It's so funny because Lauren Horrible, one of the Hellcats, ever since, like, I first started kind of talking to her, she was like, "You and Mary Jennings, y'all have got to write together. You guys, I need to hear music that y'all have done together." So
Yes.
have something in the works scheduling wise, but she is a mom too, so scheduling around nap times and babysitter times can be a little tricky, but we are working on that, and hopefully we'll have something in the calendar by the end of this month.
Oh,
But
thank God.
oh my gosh, she is mind blowing, and I
Yes.
cannot wait to hear her new album that is coming out soon, really soon.
Yes, very
So,
soon. She just released Matriarch actually not too long ago.
oh, it is released? I don't know why I thought
Or
maybe
just
it's that her release show is soon. So,
right, I think it was just Matriarch that she released. I don't think she's released the whole thing yet. I think it was
okay.
just that single.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. It's going to be so good.
Well, I'm excited. Like, thank God for Lauren Horrible and encouraging the two of you to get together because that is brilliance, and I'm so here for it. And if you ever need somebody to back you up on stage, please let me know because I would die to be on this stage with the two of you at the same time. Oh my God.
Obviously, you're one of our first choices to call
No.
that. You and Lauren, y'all are just amazing people. And you're
Well,
just so. Here's one of the things that has just really warmed my heart about the whole music on the move movement is everyone there, even though we're all, we're trying to do something with ourselves and our careers, but when we're there playing together, there it is not a dog eat dog world there.
yeah.
It is truly a place of women encouraging other women, and we're like leaning on each other and we're encouraging each other and we're building each other up, and we're not just like climbing each other's ladders. So that was a song I told Lauren. I was like, I really want to write a song about like, I used to be a ladder climber until the ladder climbed me. Because I feel like, if you haven't been there, and Nashville can be that way. I really find that within the country realm, it seems like a lot of the people, it's like, I'll be your friend and write with you so that I can get to the other people that you know. But once I've used up your resources, then I don't really have time for you anymore. And that's not how it's been with Music on the Move. And I'm so grateful for that. It has just been, because that was another thing that almost made me give up on music, because I kind of, have been hurt by people that I thought were my friends, and I thought, oh, we've got this great thing going on. But then it was like, oh, we got what we needed from you. You're gone. It was just like stabbed in the heart. But
That's awful.
but I think too, like, it's also just a reality check. It is a business. You talk about music business. There is a business side to it. It's not just the artsy songwriting side. So
Right. Well, that is incredibly encouraging to hear. And I'm so glad that, you have felt that kind of sense of community with Music on the Move, because that is what Erin is. That's why she started this in the first place. Back in the days of it being at Exit In, she was sick and tired of women not supporting other women and just cutting each other down, and like you said,
yeah.
using each other's resources and then just kind of discarding each other. She was over it. And at this point, I think we're in such a good place, not just with the showcase, but with the lessons, the webinars that we're doing, and now we have the podcast. I mean, we're really trying as hard as we can to build each other up in, country music's home base of Nashville, which right now, I mean, and it's been this way for years. They're not playing women in country on the radio, which is bullshit. And
Right.
the thing is like, how much more can we sustain this kind of trajectory until literally like the entire bottom just falls out? So that's why Erin and I are just so passionate about creating this space for all of these female artists who deserve to have a voice and deserve to have their music out there. And and you are such a huge part of it. I mean, you've been with Music on the Move since she started it.
Yeah. it's been really cool to watch it progress and grow and evolve. And on it, I mean, the showcases I don't perform in, I come to because I am always finding a new group that I'm fangirling out about, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm so grateful to find out about new artists. And you kind of get in a rut sometimes and you're like, oh, I've been listening to the same thing for 10 years now. I should find somebody new. And so I have really enjoyed like hearing all of these other people who are so dang talented. And I'm so grateful that you guys are providing a platform for some of these people to put themselves out there and put their music out there in ways that they may not be able to otherwise.
Yeah, well, and I have to tell you, it's just it's been a pleasure. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am that I get to, we get to feature everybody on the showcase, and then I get to bring them on the podcast, and we get to dive in their music and talk about all of the cool stuff that they're doing, and it's just been fantastic. I mean, I'm so busy and I love it. Like I'm working my ass off, but I'm here for it. I'm so ready for more to come down the road. So it's wonderful to get to, to speak to people like you who have been watching us, since the inception and, and where we are now. And, the cool thing is like, we haven't even, really touched the tip of the iceberg. Like Erin and I have so many more plans that are in the works, and it's going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to build this community and just lift each other up, because that's what we really need right now.
I love it. And I want you guys to know, and I'm saying this on a podcast so you guys can hold me accountable for it. I'm here for you guys. I mean, yes, I'm busy. I have a lot of mommy stuff and duties, but I'm so behind your vision and your dream for this. Like, please let me help in any way that I can, because I want to be a part of that community. I don't want to lose that sense of connection with such wonderful women. And so, what little bit I've gotten to be a part of so far, I'm like, give me more. So.
Well, and I think too, I hope that you see in yourself what Erin and I definitely see in you as an artist and as a person. I mean, your music is, in my opinion, I feel that it's transcendent. I will never forget the first showcase we did after everything was said and done, and I got those 2 CDs from you. My first thing that I did is I actually drove back to Ohio because I had another show, and the first thing I did was I went to my sister and I said, "You have got to listen to this woman. She's going to rock your fucking world." And literally, like the next day, Leslie comes back to me. She goes, "Who is this chick?" I said, "Her name is EvyIvy, and she is the bomb." And like we just kept pouring over your music, and we just love it so much. And and you're a powerhouse vocalist, and you just, like I said before, you're captivating. And so when Leslie got to actually see you perform this last showcase, she goes, "Holy shit, everything you said was so true." I said, I would not lie to you at all, And so, and then you started playing Chisel, which is one of my favorite songs. And I was just like, a whole time, I'm like over by the merch table, and I am like rocking out. People are staring at me like, giving me faces. And I didn't give a shit because I was there with you. Like, you took me to a whole place.
No, but I, you know what? And I knew you were doing that, and I could feel it on stage, and I could hear it, and that meant so much to help me get through that first song, and get over those like initial jitters. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I honestly, like, I will be your fangirl that's like up at the front of the stage, like, singing and crying and like, pumping my fist. Like, anytime you need me to be your cheerleader, I am so freaking there.
Well, thank you.
Come on, baby, let me show you a different view. Do you remember when I taught you to see my chest?
and hopefully Chisel will be out for the rest of the world to hear soon. I know we were talking a little bit before we press record, but yeah, that's definitely been one of those songs that, man, I've just been sitting on it because something didn't feel quite right, even though I wrote it and I loved it and I had the track and I was like, this is awesome. But I was telling you earlier, I had to come to this place of like really finally being vulnerable and recognizing like I wrote a song that I can't sing. It was just too high, or at least I couldn't sing it consistently in a controlled fashion. And so I never knew if the notes were going to come out or not. And finally after years and years of searching, and it's been, and I finally found a vocal coach who gets me, and I feel like I get them and I understand what they're saying. It was like finding that person who could speak my language.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I just wish I could have been vulnerable enough to have listened to somebody years ago to teach me some of these things that I thought I thought I knew, but I didn't.
Sure.
And he was like, yeah, but you know what? You wouldn't be who you are and where you are if you hadn't had that journey. He said, and all of those steps led to you getting to this point. And so, just so grateful for that. And so hopefully now that I'm feeling a lot more confident and comfortable in being able to sing one of the hardest songs I've ever written, that will hopefully be on the docket for a release soon.
Well, I gotta tell you, girl, like that is a beautiful thing to come to that point where you're like, you know what? I've written this song and I love it the way that I've written it, but I'm struggling to hit these notes. So what is the next step? And you decided to go and get a vocal coach and push your voice to the next step. And that's hard for people because it's admitting that A, we don't know everything that we think we do, and then B, opening ourselves up to constructive criticism, which always, really isn't the easiest, especially
It hurts.
right. It can hurt. It's,
Like I told you before, I was the kid that like I pretty much could do anything that I actually wanted to do. I pretty much could pick it up and do it. And so when I would hit these roadblocks of something that didn't just come naturally and easy to me, I gave up. Instead of working hard to get to what I wanted to be able to do, I just gave up. And it's taken me so long to finally find some tenacity to just be like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to like push through this wall that's there and just get through it and get to that next spot. I think motherhood's taught me a little bit of that too. Just you have to be vulnerable as a mom, and as a mom, it's like nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing. You know, they just like hand you this baby and send you home with it, and you're like, okay. Well, in my case, 2 babies the first time. So, you have to be willing to recognize that it's okay to ask for help. So,
Absolutely.
in the beginning with them when I wasn't getting any sleep. And I just remember one morning I'd had a meltdown and I was crying in the bathroom because they were crying and I couldn't figure out what was going on or how to make it stop. And we were all so tired. And my husband came down and was like, I don't think you're okay. I think we need to figure something out. And so we got help. We got people to come in and help so that I could get some sleep. And it was getting to that point of being willing to ask for help and to trust other people to come in and do something that you've never let somebody else do before, like watch our children or somebody come in and teach me how to use my voice in a way I've never used it before, or areas of my voice and think about it differently. So it's a neat perspective to have now. I'm grateful to be in that next part of that journey.
Absolutely. And I have to commend you. I think that is, it takes a lot of strength to number one, to try to push through all of that. I mean, you're working so hard to change things about your voice that, obviously you've been the one with your voice the longest. And so it is a massive period of growth. And I feel you. I mean, just in the little bit of work that I've done with Erin, she has really helped shape the way that I approach my vocals now. And
Oh
uh,
my God, it's about a powerhouse vocalist.
yeah,
She was warming up, and I was like, "Ooh, let me warm up with you." And we were like doing these blah, blah, kind of things. And I mean, it was like my ears were reverberating in the room, and she was hitting these like ridiculously high notes with so much power. And I just like stopped and I just listened to her doing warm ups, like vocal warm ups, and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let you take it from here." She's amazing, absolutely
yes.
amazing.
Yeah, and what's awesome is and I've a lot in our rehearsals and stuff, like whenever I've played in the Hellcats, I'll sing some backup here and there, and I love how she is like she's direct, but she's not an asshole about it.
Yeah,
So when she wants something, she'll be like, "No, it needs to be here." But it's not coming from a place of, maliciousness or anything like that. It's just very matter of fact and very like, this is the note you're singing. Here's where I want you to go. Let's get you to that point. And I think that is just awesome because and she'll do it for other artists and be like, "Hey, if you want backup vocals, I think this is my suggestion. This is where it should be." And she
yeah.
always hits the mark 100% of the time.
Yeah, which is nice because I tend to be the person that like apologizes all over myself instead of just directly asking what I need. And so I end up not getting what I want, where at least she knows how to be like, "No, this is what I want." And I'm like, "Well, if maybe you could, maybe next time, maybe, and maybe we could all think about, and I do this." I like talk over myself and apologize all over the place when I just need to be like, "Hey, can you hit this note instead?" That's so much more clear and easy to understand.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think everybody if everybody took just the time to observe Erin and what she does as far as directing the Hellcats and putting together the showcase, like she is the quintessential artist package. She knows what she wants, she knows how to get it, and she's not afraid to ask for it.
yeah, 100%. I
And
agree.
I've learned so much from her in the last year of working with her, not even just in lessons, but just building our business. I mean, she's so driven and so focused, and and there's a reason why so many people look to her, to do this showcase and to facilitate everything. I mean, she really can do it all. She's superhuman.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Okay, so I want to ask you this. I know that obviously with being a mom, your time is very precious, and there's a lot that you have to juggle. So in the coming months, as you start releasing more music, like I know you're talking about releasing Chisel, but do you have more music on that back burner that I don't know about yet?
Well, actually, two of the songs that I performed, the other two songs I performed at this last showcase, it's funny because I'd just been kind of sitting on them. And then when she asked me to perform, I was like, "Ooh, what songs am I going to do?" And I don't know that I would have had them at my forefront of these are the ones I need to record. But after performing them and hearing them with the band, I'm pretty gung ho about getting both of those recorded.
Yes.
So those will definitely be in the works soon. One of the co-writers I had on one of the songs, she actually just started producing for people. She's such an amazing singer-songwriter herself. Like I adore this girl, and she lives in Spain. She's from Australia, but then she moved here for a while. I think she attended Belmont, and then moved to Spain, and she's just her name is Cody Brims, and she is phenomenal. Like if you do not know Cody Brims, look her up, and it's Cody Kodey Brims Brims. I'm spelling it because I want to make sure you can find her and look her up because this girl is just I'm in such awe of her talent. But she's just recently started producing some other stuff. And so I wrote the song Broken Army with her and Peyton Gilliland, another artist that I do a lot of writing with, who's doing a lot right now. She's really doing some cool stuff. So someone else you should definitely check out. But I was like, I really want you to produce that track for me, Cody. So
Nice.
hopefully we can do that across the seas from each other soon. So
That's
but
fantastic. Oh, I'm so stoked. I cannot wait.
yeah.
Oh, yes. That's exciting. I'm so excited for you. And how cool that you're working with another female producer.
Oh yeah. She's just I feel honored that she even knows who I am. Like she's just that talented. I get like I get those like fangirl out excited things going whenever oh, Cody and I are doing it right, you know. So, but she actually performed. We met because of Erin, because Erin asked me to come out and do a songwriter night that she was hosting way back in the day before Women on Fire and Music on the Move, and Cody was one of the other performers.
Wow.
So look at that. Look at Erin being a big part of my life and all the connections I've made. You know. So,
That's
thank you.
so beautiful. Well, and I think, with this next album that you're, working on, or at least, a set of songs anyway, I really, really hope that you feel as confident about your music and yourself as we feel about you and your ability, because you are so sweet, and you are just so very kindly spoken, and I know that it seems like sometimes the compliments might make you a little uncomfortable, but sweetheart, I gotta tell you, you are worthy of every single compliment that comes your way, and I just can't wait for this new music that you're about to put out, because I know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Katie.
Of course, of course. So let me ask you this: do you have any other shows booked in the Nashville area? You got anything else that's going on?
I don't currently. I've actually been kind of investigating some options on how to get some more show, with live music just now really starting to come back into play. It's interesting to see kind of what's going on and what is happening out in Nashville, at least, and with my motherhood situation, it is hard to book shows necessarily out of town.
Sure.
So you're a little limited in Nashville sometimes on that, but it's in the works.
Well, I think we need to get a hold of Mary Jennings and maybe even Monty Mater and see if we can't put together a rock showcase somewhere for you girls.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I'm in for that. And then you and your sister can come back too, because y'all were rocking it out the other night. Oh my gosh. My friend Amanda, who's also a singer-songwriter, was there, and she was like, I've never heard anyone put out that much power with their teeth closed while singing. Because she wasn't even really like, I feel like I have to open my mouth as wide as it will go whenever I'm hitting my big power notes. No, she was just like smiling through her teeth, and she was like, the whole room had her voice in it, Dang, your sister can belt. I mean, belt. It was
Yes.
amazing. And your set was so much fun, and she speaks so eloquently, but it's so funny. I was so drawn to your set, and it just like I can't wait to get to come see you guys again and see a
Oh.
full set of yours.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, Leslie, I joke and I kid and I tell her that she has mutant lungs, but it's really the truth, though. Like, the woman has a ridiculously loud set of pipes. And I think a lot of that just stemmed from her music theater days when she was in high school. And then, she did a little bit of performing in various bands. And she's always had that, like, rock powerhouse vocal, since she was a teenager. But that's just awesome. So thank you. That really means a lot. And I know that when she listens to this episode, she's gonna love it.
Well, your whole family. I was just like, I just wanted to like be enveloped by all of you because you're all just the coolest human beings and so warm and so friendly and so infectious with your laughs and just your personalities are beautiful and you're really lucky to have such a really cool family set like you do. And I was so grateful to get to meet everybody.
Yes, I am very very lucky, and I have to I know I told you that, my mom was like, she kept looking at me through your whole set, just like with her jaw was on the floor, and I just mouth the words, "I told you so." And she really enjoyed meeting you and getting to, talk to you for a moment. She absolutely loved your music. And that, honestly, like, I love my mother. She is picky as shit. So like, for her to like pay compliments, it's a deal for her, but I knew she was gonna love your music. So and I meant exactly what I said the other day in that text message. If there's a time where you want to like take off and you want to go on a little vacation, you want to come up to Ohio, you can come and stay with Leslie and we will just play some shows and have a fantastic time, and it'll be like the best little staycation ever.
I think that sounds amazing. So, can I bring my kids and drop them off somewhere? No, I'm just kidding.
She's got kids too, so it'd be fine. It'd be just fine.
We'll just get two sitters that night,
There you
right?
go. Perfect. Well, and we're lucky. A lot of our friends are, they have kids and they're very into music. So whenever there's music going on, we actually try to involve the kids as much as possible. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
That is, I definitely want to instill that love of music in all of my kids. And, my Nisley, she is just my little social butterfly, and she stands up and she sings. It is the cutest and sweetest. She has no idea what any of the words are. She just, hey, it's so cute. And she's on pitch. She just doesn't know the words. And I got one of those fun little microphone things. She loves playing with that and singing into it. Iris is a little more quiet about it. Like, I'll sit her at the piano, and this kid, like, she doesn't know how to play the piano, but somehow the notes that she ends up hitting while she's just kind of playing on the keys, Nisley gets over and is just like bang, bang, bam, bam. Whereas Iris is just this really gentle, thought out, and they actually sound like she truly is playing some kind of beautiful melody. Like, it always sounds good. It doesn't just sound like banging. So I'm excited to see, if they develop any musicalities or artistic skills, and I hope that I can help them pursue that and just give them all the encouragement that they would ever need so that they can pursue it to its fullest.
absolutely. Well, I think that's wonderful. And I love that they're already kind of, getting into it, singing their own little things and stuff. And I think it's wonderful that, that you're the type of parent who is going to foster that love. I mean, you're a musician, so how could you not? But still, I mean, it's important to have that support system and, know that your parents are behind you and are just like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. Let's do this. I mean, it's integral.
And if music isn't their thing and it's something I don't understand and it's not my passion, that's okay too. Like, maybe it'll be an area that my husband's really good in because he is non-musical. And so I think he can appreciate more of the analytical side of things.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's great. That's awesome. Well, friend, I cannot thank you enough for coming on to the podcast today and talking about your music and talking about being a mom in music and just, and how involved you've been so far in Music on the Move. And I know for sure that there will be more down the road. So just hang in with us, and I know it's gonna be an awesome ride.
no, I'm sure of it. So sure. So, well, you're amazing. Thank you for thinking I'm interesting enough to have on your podcast.
No, stop it.
Uh, I'm just grateful I was able to not go into full toddler speak and come out of that for a little bit, and that I didn't just start singing like Coco Melon or something. That is definitely the life right there.
Rhythm is found in love. A rhythm is found. A rhythm is found. A rhythm is found in us. Let the rhythm ignite. Get lost in the light of love. Let the rhythm ignite. Get lost in the light of
Well, that, my friends, was the wonderful EvyIvy. You can check her out on Instagram, EvyIvy, EvyIvy. Links will be in the show notes, by the way. And I hope you enjoyed her song, Rhythm. Links for that will also be in the show notes. Make sure that you are on the lookout for Chisel. It's going to be coming out soon. Thanks again to our wonderful co-founder, Erin McLendon, for this fantastic theme song. Check us out at musiconthemovestudios.com. You can also check me out at CaitieThompsonMusic.com. Please be sure to leave me a review if you are on Apple Podcasts. Or if you'd like to reach out and let me know what you think about the podcast, you can email me. It is Caitie@musiconthemovestudios.com. Thanks so much, everybody. See you next time.